The information of his arrest was not given to his sister or mother, but only to his friend Nagarao Baghe, who has not been examined. In view of the previous history of insanity of the appellant as revealed, it was the duty of an honest investigator to subject the accused to a medical examination immediately and place the evidence before the court, and if this is not done, it creates a serious infirmity in the prosecution case and the benefit of doubt has to be given to the accused. As observed in Bapu vs. State of Rajasthan 2007, 8 SCC 66, 2007 SCCR 1374. The admitted facts in the present case strongly persuades us to believe that the prosecution has deliberately withheld relevant evidence with regard to the nature of the appellant's mental illness, his mental condition at the time of assault requiring hospitalization immediately after the assault and hindering his arrest, the diagnosis and treatment, the evidence of the treating doctor, all of such necessarily casts a doubt on the credibility of the prosecution evidence, raising more than reasonable doubts about the mental condition of the appellant. Unfortunately, both the trial court and the High Court have completely failed to consider and discuss this very important lacuna in the prosecution case decisively crucial or determination or adjournment of the guilt of the appellant. The law undoubtedly presumes that every person committing an offense is sane and liable for his acts, though in specified circumstances it may be rebuttable. The doctrine of burden of proof in the context of the plea of insanity was stated as follows in Dayabhai Thakkar vs. State of Gujarat 1964 7 SCR 361. The prosecution must prove beyond reasonable doubt that the accused had committed the offense with the requisite mens rea, and the burden of proving that always rests on the prosecution from the beginning to the end of the trial. There is a rebuttable presumption that the accused was not insane when he committed the crime, in the sense laid down by Section 84 of the Indian Penal Code. The accused may rebut it by placing before the court all the relevant evidence, oral, documentary, or circumstantial, but the burden of proof upon him is no higher than that rests upon a party to civil proceedings. Even if the accused was not able to establish conclusively that he was insane at the time he committed the offense, the evidence placed before the court by the accused or by the prosecution may raise a reasonable doubt in the mind of the court as regards one or more of the ingredients of the offense, including mens rea of the accused, and in that case the court would be entitled to acquit the accused on the ground that the general burden of proof resting on the prosecution was not discharged. Section 84 of the IPC carves out an exception that an act will not be an offense if done by a person who, at the time of doing the same, by reason of unsoundness of mind, is incapable of knowing the nature of the act, or what he is doing is either wrong or contrary to law. But this onus on the accused under Section 105 of the Evidence Act is not as stringent as on the prosecution to be established beyond all reasonable doubts. The accused has only to establish his defense on a preponderance of probability as observed in Surendra Misra vs. State of Jharkhand 2011, 11 SCC 495. After which the onus shall shift on the prosecution to establish the inapplicability of the exception, but it is not every and any plea of unsoundness of mind that will suffice. Stop.